Hey guys, this is the Prelaunch Profit Podcast session number 3.
The main thing is you just got to feel the fear and just do it anyway. And you got to remind yourself of your reason why. Like, why is this so important to you? For me, I didn't want to be making $500 a week or struggling to make ends meet. It was more important to me to create that lifestyle and to be there for my daughter than it was to be scared to go up to someone and talk to them.
Are you finally ready to launch your lifestyle and get your business into gear? This is the Prelaunch Profit Podcast where we interview inspiring entrepreneurs who have created the freedom in their life with informational products. Let's go. Launching digital products is simple. Whether it's an ebook or an online course, I have observed how all the top earners launch their 6- and 7-figure businesses, and I finally cracked the code. Go to www.prelaunchprofit.com/free to receive your free step-by-step checklist today. Hey there guys, Tucker here from the Prelaunch Profit Podcast, and thank you so much for actually joining me here today, for taking your time out of your busy day, your busy schedule, and actually filling your minds with greatness. I have a wonderful guest actually, and I'm super pumped, super stoked to actually give this whole episode to you. Her name is Ellie Briscoe, and she is a mentor that actually helps personal coaches and trainers build their business online and helps them remove their mental blocks so that they can actually move faster. And this is something really important to me, especially because in my opinion, I believe that everyone needs a mentor, and there's a lot of things that actually people struggle with when it comes to building their own businesses because they don't see the blind spots. It's really cool stuff, and I'm going to go into this really quick. But before we do that, just a few things that we're going to cover. We're going to learn how she went from working in a charity call center for $500 a week. Actually, she was getting that from the government to her biggest month, which was actually this month, of $86,000. We're also going to learn how she handles no's in her business and what she does next. We're also going to dive into how she has built all of her businesses for the past 5 years. Also, she also includes how she got 655 leads in 3 days at a baby expo. And that was actually really cool. She's really personable. She's really good at making connections, and this is another thing that she actually includes here in the episode. We're also going to learn how to not be obsessed with your business, which is actually something quite intriguing because I have never actually thought about it that way. She also goes into how she actually helped a client of hers who was actually making $1,500 a week. It had, a huge heap of debt, had no email list or no Instagram. Now he is a fitness trainer. He is making over $70K a month, has almost $40K in his email list, and over $320K on Instagram as followers. So these are what we're going to go into. These are the things that we're going to learn, and let's get into it. All right, everybody, Tucker here from Prelaunch Profit, and I wanted to thank you for joining me here today. And I have a wonderful guest. Her name is Ellie Briscoe. She is a business mentor for personal trainers and coaches, and I've invited her today to actually share what she does. So, Ellie, go ahead and tell our audience hi, and I want you to explain what exactly you do.
Okay, so hey everyone, thanks for having me today. So basically, I help personal trainers and coaches be able to grow their business, but do it in a way that creates an awesome lifestyle as well. And I help them to be able to overcome their mindset blocks so that they can move forwards much faster than they ever have before, and much faster than most people out there, actually.
Okay, I think, that right there, I think just that little bit that you said when it comes to the mindset obstacles, that
Yeah.
is where people almost suffer the most because they just feel stuck. They feel frustrated, confused, everything. And okay, cool. So this is what I wanted to shift gears a little bit because you haven't really done a product info launch, if I'm correct, but
Yeah.
you are living the type of lifestyle that I like to focus on for
Yeah.
this podcast. So before we go into all those little goodies, all the fun info, fun facts, I want to know what you were doing before you actually started doing this. Basically, if you were working a 9 to 5, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, cool. So I worked in call centers for 5 years before I started my first business. So that was in sales and marketing for different types of companies. The last one that I worked for and the one that I was at the longest was charities. So I worked for a number of different charities like the Cancer Council, Heart Foundation, Oxfam, all those different types of charities, fundraising for them on the phones. So I'd call their current like reactivate old people or get people on direct debit, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And yeah, made a lot of money for them, which actually really helped me in starting having those skills.
So yeah, definitely the people skills, the connecting skills, the even the skills that you use to overcome like rebuttals and stuff. So
Yeah,
you're working in sales, you're working in a call center. What
yeah.
was your switch? How did you pivot from that to starting your online business?
Yeah, so I actually left Australia and I went over to England for a year. I was always supposed to do it when I was younger, but I didn't. So I went when I was 20, 21, 22, and went and lived over there for a year, traveled, had fun, spent time with family because I was born in England.
Okay.
And I met my partner over there. And then I came back to Australia. And when I came back, I was actually pregnant. I got pregnant overseas.
Okay.
So it really changed my whole life around. I came back and worked in the call center again until I had my daughter. And after I had her, I realized that I don't want to be working like an office job, making 500 bucks a week
Right.
and just making all this money for someone else. I didn't want to have my daughter in full-time daycare. I wanted to be there for her and create a better lifestyle for myself. So at the time, I was living off $500 a week from the government because my partner was on a tourist visa. He couldn't work, and I had just had my daughter, so I couldn't work. And it was a really, really stressful time. We couldn't afford a car. We couldn't even afford meat. And so it was at that time where I just really decided I wanted to create a better life and lifestyle for myself and my family. And that's when I studied to become a personal trainer. And that was my first business. And then yeah, just changed my whole life from there, basically. That was my motivator.
Gosh, that is so cool. So, okay. So first off, how much, give or take, are you making monthly now?
So I just had my biggest month. So I'm at 86,500 this month, and we've still got the rest of the day. So I want to I want to get to 100 this month. That'd be really cool.
Psh, might as well.
Um, so yeah, in 2014, I actually went downhill. I'd had
Okay.
really big weeks before that. I was doing like 30K weeks, some weeks. And I went down to my lowest month was $4,000. Because first of all, I was in a high level mastermind with a guy who I just didn't gel with. But I can't blame it on him. I was in a bad mindset as well. And we just weren't the
Mm.
right match. And because of that, plus not being able to get myself out of a crappy mindset, I just my business, my income, and everything else went downhill. And it was at the end of 2014 that I thought, no, I'm going to take this seriously again. I'm going to invest in myself, get in a good mindset, and it's just all been upwards since then.
Good for you. That's so cool.
Thanks.
I wanted to ask you that question because that is a big, I mean, not only that is so cool because not only is it like your finances beforehand, they obviously showed like 500 bucks a week, but just because you flipped that switch inside your head, you are now making more money because of your different mindset, correct?
Totally. Yeah. I've invested, it'd probably be close to $150,000 over the last 5 years on my own personal development. So, different courses and having coaches. I've currently got a mindset coach that I work with.
Cool.
And even though I'm an amazing coach, I get my clients really big shifts. There's still some stuff that I can't work through myself. And I'm very self aware and I work through a lot of stuff by myself. But having a mindset coach and having someone to support me in business to keep stepping it up all the time, that really helps. And I've found every step that I take up in business, when I'm making more money or have all these opportunities come my way, like stuff gets thrown at me to pull me back. And it's usually personal stuff with relationships, whether it's relationship with my partner or relationship with myself, things from childhood, all this kind of stuff comes up, and it's really hard to work through the emotional stuff. But I find the more that I work on myself, the more successful I become, and the better coach I am for my clients as well, because I can call them on their stuff
Cool.
and be able to help them get those big shifts in their life as well.
So two things. I think number one, that self-awareness is key, because how can you even learn anything if you don't know what you need to learn? And then two, that humility that you just showed by saying, I know I'm not, I know where, I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I don't remember what you said, but you basically call yourself out saying, hey, I know I'm not perfect. That's why I myself has a personal coach as well. And
Yeah.
so I want to go just a little bit deeper into the emotional side of, you mentioned you didn't want to make money for someone else. Was it that you didn't want to be where you were at anymore? Did you see other people making more money? What was it that triggered inside you to actually overcome, working the 9 to 5, overcome this fear?
Yeah.
And yeah, you just go for it.
Yeah. So, well, for example, when I was working in the call center, I made a sale one day. I remember, I think this was my biggest sale that I made. $17,000 donation from an old man. He was 80 something years old, still working on a farm in Western Australia. And it's like, God, I just made $17,000 for a charity for someone else. Like, why couldn't I do that for myself? And I didn't want to be working. I didn't do 9 to 5. I think I did like 11 till 7 or something like that. But
Cool.
same.
Same stuff.
Um, yeah, but I didn't want to be just going and sitting on a phone all day, every day. After I had my daughter, I wanted to be there for her. It's like, I felt like, what's the point in having a child if she was going to be in daycare all day, every
Right.
day? And so when I started that first business, it was based off my journey that I'd been through. It was to help mums lose their baby weight. And I'd actually lost 29 kilos in 7 months.
Good job.
So I don't know what that is in pounds.
Well, we'll do it later.
A lot. Yeah, so I lost that in 7 months because I had no other choice. I had no money. I had to run everywhere and cycle everywhere that I needed to go because I couldn't afford a car. And it was after that that I started that first business, so that I could take my daughter with me. She used to come to all my boot camps, and she was around. She saw me as this role model where I was being healthy and I was creating success and creating an awesome business as well. And she's grown up around that right from the start. And that's what I want for my kids. Like, we went from struggling and literally being really poor to now I can do whatever I want. I can give my kids whatever they need. I've got 2 kids now. Last year, for example, I traveled 11 times. And I also can give, like, my partner's mom is struggling in Portugal. She doesn't have much money, and I give her money whenever she needs it so she can survive, basically.
Yeah.
So things like that, when I was in survival mode 5 years ago, I couldn't give to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a big driver for me to be able to help out family or charity or create an awesome lifestyle for myself and my family as well. So we can do whatever we want, but also make a difference in the world as well.
Gotcha. I just wanted to point out, I loved how you said you basically get to be an example for your daughter. Like,
Yeah.
I think, would you rather be that mom or dad, whoever's listening, that would come home, working the 9 to 5 and just, tired, you have no time, you are just want to watch TV, and you're just grumpy because you don't like where you're at right now. You don't like working where you're working now. Or would you rather have your sons and daughters look up to you when you are, you basically come home, or you are home all the time, and your kids basically see like, wow, my dad, my mom, they are so happy with what they are doing right now. That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah. And I think that really hits home as well because, even if you're not working for someone else, you can still create that negativity in your business. I know a lot of people that are just obsessed with their business, and I know I have been at times, and that's the main thing I've been working on over the last 6 months or so is that when I'm doing really well, I get this adrenaline, like I get this high and I get obsessed with my business. There's been a lot of times where I just escape into my business. And it's not that I neglect my kids, I still do a lot with them, but I've realized that I need to be present with them when I'm with them as well. And so I think you can have that from a job that's sucking your soul, but you can also create that in your business if you don't work on yourself as well.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I think it's important to work when you're working in your business, be focused on that. But then when you're with the kids or when you're doing whatever else in your life, be present in that as well.
Be 100% there. I love it. I love that because I think, yeah, a lot of people, they'll actually use something for their escape, whether it's their business or job or whatever, they use that to escape. But also there's a phrase, a saying that goes around like, no success at work or in your business will be greater than the success of your own home.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like family, friends, relationships, that's basically where, at the end of the day, once we're off this earth, that's where everything is going to lead. So since we've talked about this, we've got a really awesome background of your life. I want to go into the beginning of how you actually started. So like, what did you use to contact people? Different types of things or whatever to help you be where you are today.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So when I first started the fitness business, I had no idea what I was doing. And the first couple of months, I was making a couple of $100s a week. And then I invested in a business coach very early on, within my first couple of months. And the first thing that I did with him was $1,000, which for me at the time, you could have said it was $100,000. Like that's how much $1,000 was
Oh,
to me
wow.
back. And he gave me some tips. I put them in place. I took action and I paid it off bit by bit. So I really believe investing in yourself early on so that you can have that support when you're not believing in yourself or have the strategies from someone who's been there and done it really, really helped me. And I continue to do that. The main way I built it in the first place was just from getting connected with friends and family who were interested in their health and fitness. And
Okay.
so I guess that kind of word of mouth in the beginning, which a lot of people do. And then from there was building up on Facebook, really. So connecting with people in different Facebook groups, getting really, really clear on who my target market was and where to find them, both online and offline. So I did that through connecting on Facebook, on different pages and groups and things like that. Forums as well. Like mums is a really big one with forums, and mums really want to be connected with other mums who are going through the same things. And I guess there was a real gap in the market for what I was doing. I was the first one in my area to create mums boot camps where the babysitters looked after the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so offline, I ran seminars. I would go and you know those kids like indoor play centers. Do you have them around? They
Yeah,
have
no.
like yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd go there. I ran a seminar in one of those and just put posters up and put a clipboard on their front desk with some information, and they could put their details down. I even used to walk up to people in the play centers, like I'd use my daughter, I guess, and start chatting to other mums in play centers, in parks, in different places, and then turn the conversation around into health and fitness and let them know that I was a trainer and end up getting their phone number and then getting on the phone to them and signing them up. So,
That is so cool. Do you? So I know for me personally, especially when I first started off doing this stuff, but I think when people hear this, there's going to be a lot of confusion, but there's also going to be a lot of fear of basically cold calling. So with you personally, how did you combat that fear or that, uneasiness of talking to random strangers and basically
yeah.
having them turn into your clients?
Yeah. So a lot of people feel like cold calling is like just calling anyone, but it's not. Cold calling is like where you get out the phone book and you're calling random people, which
Okay.
I had to do working in call centers. So that is worse
Gotcha.
than
Okay.
someone you've spoken to. So I guess having my background of doing that and working in call centers for 5 years really helped me. But the main thing is you just got to feel the fear and just do it anyway. And you got to remind yourself of your reason why. Like, why is this so important to you? For me, I didn't want to be making $500 a week or struggling to make ends meet. It was more important to me to create that lifestyle and to be there for my daughter than it was to be scared to go up to someone and talk to them. And, once you do it the first time, and if you do it consistently, whether it's phone calls, talking to people face to face, whatever it is, it's going to be scary, but it's much more scary in your head overthinking it. What gets rid of fear is actually taking action,
Hmm.
because it's far worse in your head than it is actually taking the action. And taking the action obviously gets you the results, but it reduces the fear as well.
I resonate with that. That is so good. I love hearing that, and I love how basically you solved your own problems. Like, yes, you did have the business coach, but I think a lot of people, they actually allow that fear to keep them, as the majority, instead of turning into the minority and doing things that people just don't do.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
I love that so much, and I just love what people are actually capable of, because we have huge potential inside us, and that is what I like to focus on with each and every single person that I come in contact with. And
Yeah.
I just love people in your situation who have been there, done that, but also you've overcome a just so many obstacles that now you get to help other people do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So okay, you did that, you started talking to people. What was your turning point? Like, what did you do to scale and to actually, become better at what you're doing?
Yeah. So with that first business, a big risk that I took was signing up to have a stand at a baby expo. So at the time, I didn't know if it would work. It was a lot of money. It was 2.5 grand for the stand. And then I had to pay for people to help me on the stand and marketing material and that kind of thing. And I didn't know if it would work or not. But I looked at the numbers. There were 17,000 mums through the doors the year before. So it was very big. And I thought, okay, this could work. And so I took that risk early on in my first year in business, and I ended up getting, I think it was 655 leads in 3 days.
Wow.
And that just exploded my business. Most people would be scared to do that. They wouldn't do it. And so I got all those leads, and then I got on the phone to them and just signed them up for afterwards. And that really built my database very quickly. The second year I did it, I got 810 leads, and the third year I did it, I got over 1,000 leads just in 3 days.
Wow.
So that was the big thing that really built my business. And then yeah, that's how I built my first business. So that first business I took to 100K in the first year and 200K in under 2 years. And it was in my second year that I started business coaching, helping people to get to that 100K mark to because of the results that I'd had.
Right.
And then ended up selling that first business the fitness business in my second year.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah,
So I love that. That's really good. Okay, so you did that. You did the expo.
yeah.
How are you currently just doing the same stuff you have been doing to find leads or people who are interested?
So now, I don't do the fitness business anymore. It was around about a year ago that I let that go because I realized I was trying to do marketing, content, sales, like everything for two businesses, and it was too
Oh,
much. And I found that with a lot of people, they're trying to do a million different things. And if you don't have that focus, you're not going to get the results that you want as fast as you want. It's just overwhelming.
right.
So now I just do business coaching. And yeah, I do some of the same stuff, but I've really stepped it up in a lot of areas as well. So I still connect with a lot of people on Facebook. I do run Facebook ads, but most of mine comes organically, really, leads through connecting with people in Facebook groups and I get a lot of referrals as well because I get amazing results for my clients. And I'm about to actually run at a fitness expo in a few weeks' time next month. So hopefully be able to replicate what I did with the baby expo, but coaching business.
Oh,
Uh,
girl, you'll do just
yeah.
fine. No worries.
Yeah, but most of it does come from connecting with people in Facebook groups, putting out like free offers and things like that with Facebook ads and referrals.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier, you start a conversation and then all of a sudden it leads to, talking about fitness and coaching and that kind of stuff. What is
Yeah.
like, what is an example of a normal average conversation that you'll have with someone, just to give our audience like, some tips, some pointers on how to move from, you know, one place to another to turning them into your clients.
Yeah, okay. So I guess it would just be starting a conversation. I've done this both offline and online, so sending like a personal message or something like that. Most people, they're just really spammy. So, for example, there's someone that I knew years and years ago, haven't spoken to her for ages, and she sent me a message in January saying, I've got this amazing opportunity and you're so inspiring and trying to build me up. And it was some like MLM kind of
Oh yeah,
thing.
been there. Yep.
And it's like, people that do that, whether it's MLM or not, people that do that, it just seems really spammy. So the way
Yeah.
to avoid that and actually have a real open kind of conversation with someone is people that you're already connected with in some way. So it's building that relationship first rather than going, hey, I've got this program and you should join or whatever. It's
Right.
actually having a conversation with them and actually caring about them and just talking to them about their goals and where they're at relating to what you specialize in, and then building it from there. If they show some kind of interest, if they say, oh, yeah, I'm really struggling with whatever, and you know that you can help with that, then you could offer a free offer or a phone call with them to be able to take that next step and help them further. But if they don't, then you can just leave that conversation at that for now and just continue building that relationship.
Cool. I love it. And you take no, you you're not afraid of that no. You know what I mean? Is it's
Yeah,
like you get a no and it's like, hey, cool. Like I'll still like it's not like, oh, we're not friends anymore, or like, oh, unfriend you, it's still you're still friends
yeah,
with them, you're still gonna help them. And then when they
yeah.
are ready, which is why I love email lists, because you get to build a huge audience, and even if they're not ready, you still get to teach and bless their lives in just amazing ways. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what business is about. It's about reaching out and helping people, not just trying to make as many sales as you can.
Right.
Obviously, you want to make money in your business, but if you're going into a conversation going, oh, I've got to make a sale, got to make a sale, then you're just coming from a place of desperation. Whereas if you go into a conversation going, how can I help this person today? Then you're doing it from a place of like love and actually caring about them. And something else that I tell my clients all the time as well, if they're doing sales calls, for example, sales calls is all about the numbers. You need to get rid of the ego, like get out of your own head. It's not about you, it's about helping them. And it's about taking the emotion out of it and thinking about it logically. And if you know your conversion rates, and you will know them if you do a certain number after a certain number of calls. So, say, for example, you sell one in five people, it's about getting through those four no's to get to that yes. And
Hmm.
so I just wanted to mention that because of what you said about the nose.
No, that's that. I love that. Well, I used to do inside sales, like direct marketing inside of Sam's Club. Um,
Yeah,
and we actually learned that, but it's cool that you bring it up because we would have to talk to, you know, hundreds of people a day just to get like five yeses. Um,
yeah,
and that is so cool because again, it comes down all to that mindset. And I like to say, I have a little phrase that I like to say, you know, life is about math. Life is math because really, if you can just, analyze, look at the analytics, find out what is working, what's not, you can basically streamline everything you're doing by just continuing to doing, but almost looking for those trends.
yeah, totally. It's too many people have so much emotion involved, and it's easy because your business is like your baby, you love it. But I have some clients that are just like this massive emotional roller coaster, and it's draining. It's
It
it's
is.
hard. And I find that the more that I've worked on myself and the more that my clients work on themselves as well, the more that you can really take that emotion out of it. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be a robot, but it just means that you don't get so up and down. If a client says, sorry, I can't work with you anymore, or can I put it on hold or whatever, like you don't get upset and cry about it. It's just like, yeah, that's fine. Like you move on to the next one. And it's just making it more space for someone who is awesome and being able to help someone else as well.
Okay, I love that. Thank you. But, yeah, before we go, Ellie, I just want to again thank you for this time, for just, I mean, not only for taking this time to be on this interview, this episode, but also just for what you're doing to actually, bless the lives of so many others in your circle. And do you have, first off, do you have any advice, closing words that you'd like to give our audience? And then two, do you actually have something for them that they can research, any tools that they can actually do right now? It could even be something that you have personally, like a website or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I guess the main thing is a lot of people get caught up in the strategy, and I really believe that your thoughts and your beliefs. And so working on yourself, your mindset, plus strategy is what equals success. It's not about having all these crazy techniques and funnels and all these different things going on, and about continually learning about the actual, about sales or marketing or whatever. But it's that kind of stuff, the strategy coupled with working on what's going on inside your head, that gets you results. All the strategy in the world isn't going to help you if you're in a bad headspace. And you'll find that you take one step forwards and two steps back. So I really believe that people need to work on themselves more, whether it's through listening to podcasts, having their own coach, doing journaling and like working through their stuff, to be able to become the best version of themselves. And then the strategy or whatever they put in place is going to work. And all these opportunities will come their way because they're allowing it in. I think that's the biggest thing.
Boom. Yeah. Boom, baby. That was so good. I want to have like this up here in GarageBand. I want to have that right said and then like replay it as an encore. Cool.
Yeah,
but yeah,
awesome.
thank you again, Ellie. And again, sorry, go ahead with your
Yeah. So my website is just ptmentoring.com.au. So people can check that out if they want to. I do have a free training that I'm happy to share the link. Do you want me to just give you the link so you can pop it up?
Yeah. Go ahead and say it, and I'll put it all in the show notes as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll just find it actually.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so basically I have one client who when he started with me 2.5 years ago, he was making $1,500 a week. He had a heap of debt. He had no email list and no Instagram. And I thought, so in the last 2.5 years, he's now making over 70 grand a month. He has almost 40,000 people on his email list and over 320,000 on his Instagram.
Nice.
And he paid off his debt within 6 months as well of working with me. So I thought towards the end of last year, he'd be the perfect person to interview to talk about his success that he'd had on Instagram. And so I did this interview with him. It's about 40 minutes, and it talks about how you can build your following on Instagram, but it's not just for Instagram. You can use this on any social media or any kind of marketing that you do, really. It applies to anything. And to be able to not only build your following, but then turn that following into leads and then turn those leads into sales as well. So he gives some really, really good tips in that.
Cool.
And I've got the link here, actually. So it's www.ptmentoring.com.au, and then it's /Instagram-training. But I can share that with you as well if you need.
Yeah. Just put it in the comments right there.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Ellie, thank you so much again for taking this time, for really, for putting yourself out there on the spot, for almost being vulnerable on sharing your, past experiences. But again, We thank you, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much.
Wasn't this interview amazing or what? I loved it. I loved the fact that she was actually in one place. She didn't like where she was. She wanted to go somewhere else. She knew what she wanted, and then she took quick action. The whole reason I have this podcast is to actually help inspire you to take action and to improve your lifestyle and actually create the freedom in your life that we all know that we're all looking for. So go to prelaunchprofit.com/free, and I have a free checklist. It's actually step-by-step that you can follow to launch your own informational product. Also, go to iTunes, type in prelaunchprofit.com, and I would love it if you actually left a review and a rating so that I can help you better. Not only will this help you, but it will also allow me to help other people and just create a really good vibe for everyone else that's going to be listening to this podcast. So thank you very much. This is Tucker signing off, and this is the Prelaunch Profit Podcast, and I will see you later.